Welcome to this week's episode of Local Threads. I'm Molly, your host, and this week I'm sitting down with Stephanie Hardie, the alchemist behind Gate Garden Herbals. If you're a local, you've surely stumbled upon her offerings across multiple stores and pop-ups she does throughout the season from Salem to Marshfield. Stephanie is a steward of the land and a community builder that's rooted in her sole purpose. Be sure to stick around to the end to hear about free events that are coming up in the next week. Welcome to the podcast for the second time. Thank you for re-recording.
Oh, thank you. Of course.
There's not going to be any cats throwing up in the background this time.
I'm a little upset.
I know. We'll just start the episode with that.
I am pleased to be back.
You've been doing a lot.
I have.
So you are a born and raised Massachusetts. How do you say it? Is it Massachusetts?
I don't know.
I just made that word up.
I don't know either, which is upsetting. Yes and no. So I was born here in Massachusetts, but my dad was in the military, so
That's
we
right.
moved around a lot. But I ended up back here after my dad retired. So I've lived in Massachusetts the longest out of anywhere that I've lived, but I haven't been here like through and through my entire life forever, having never have left.
I wanted to have you on the podcast. One, I love everything that you sell, but also you have created this third space for people to enjoy what you offer, and that is very much practical magic in real life with your studio, or not studio. Is it, what do you call it, a studio or a shop?
Sometimes I'll call it like the apothecary. Sometimes I'll call it the shop.
That word gets me sometimes, so
we can say shop. Shop is fine.
Apothecary. I did it.
You nailed it.
Sometimes I get real stumped on that, and I don't know why. It's like my brain glitches. But I got the chance to go to one of your Earthwoven gatherings, and I went to your garden party, which those are free.
Garden parties are just totally free.
Okay.
You just show up.
Oh, $10 for a drink.
If you want, but
you don't have to.
There's other free refreshments.
Yeah.
But if you want to patronize another local business, then you have that choice.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the garden parties are just totally free. I feel really lucky and really privileged in like the little piece of land that I have the privilege of stewarding. And we've tried really hard to make it sort of fun and magical, and
it is
rewild it, and to just steward it responsibly and with care and devotion. And so I'm in the suburbs of Boston, so I'm not on like this acreage, but it's like a third of an acre that we have gardens and chickens and a greenhouse and my apothecary shop. And so it's always just such a source of wonder for me. And so I really felt this pull and this level of importance to create more of what I want in the world. Like I want places where people and humans can be human, they can create and laugh and connect with nature and make arts and crafts and sing and tell stories and poetry and take their shoes off. And just, kind of have that third space where there's little pressure to do anything other than just be a human that's alive and enjoy very human things. And started a couple years ago. I started with the garden party first, and I looked at my boyfriend Pete and I was like, well, I have this crazy idea. And when I say that, he knows, and he's just like, oh no, what is it? I'm like, no, it's not that crazy. But what if we had like a big, like almost like adult tea party in the backyard? And I just said, whoever wants to come can come, and I'll make a bunch of food from the garden, and maybe we'll have some friends, either like play music or have other little like pop-up shops or something, because why not? And he was like, oh, that's not your worst idea. You've had stranger for sure. So yeah, let's do it. And I had no expectations, right? I was like, I don't know who's going to come to this, but I put it out there, and this was probably like 3 or 4 years ago at this point. And I was just like, if people can just like RSVP just so I know how much food to make. Yeah. Again, you don't have to pay anything. You just show up, just get your body there. And like 40 people came.
Yeah, and that's hard to do just having a party with your friends.
Yeah, and I was like, "That's stupendous."
Yeah.
And so I really feel like it's, like, palpable, like, I
Mhm.
feel like the human ache and desire for these things, for these experiences, for this connection, and not everyone has the time, capacity, place, resources to do that or to organize that, and I
Mhm.
do.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't I do that?
Yeah.
And it's just transformed into such a beautiful thing. So now I do the garden party. Last year I did one in the summer and one in the fall, which I'll probably
Mhm.
do again this year. Again, those are free. You just show up. And then I have the seasonal Earthwoven like community rituals or gatherings where that's a smaller container. Those are paid, but that just covers like cost of food and material cost if we're doing like a craft. And I pay the co-facilitators that I bring in
Mhm.
so that they get compensated for their time.
Yeah. I love the one that I went to because we made those, wreaths.
Yeah.
Um, I I don't wanna say they were made out of sticks, but I don't know the word.
They
What are
were
they
like the,
called?
those were like the grapevine
Yeah, vine.
that we, like, cut into moons,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Which mine was a little wonky, but I
That's
still
the beauty
loved
of
it.
them.
It was so fun. I laughed so hard because I think that was the first time I ever hung out with you, and I didn't realize your sense of humor was so like mine, and I was, like, dying. It was so funny. And I love that, and you also inspired me to try to figure out, "Okay, I have a little bit of land. How do I garden
Yeah.
on this?" So that's definitely been rolling around in my mind, like, "I gotta get this going."
Yeah, I mean, honestly, having a garden is never a bad idea.
And also, I love how welcoming all the plants and everything that you have there. It's so refreshing because everybody has the same, like not I mean, I guess housing is different here in New England because the houses are old. They're
Sure.
not like cookie cutter subdivisions,
Yeah.
but it can feel like that when all the houses are white.
Right. Yeah.
There's not really nobody really has time or money to deal with plants,
Mhm.
all the time, but it doesn't have to be expensive.
No, and that's what I
It's just
love
labor.
about it. And it can't but it can be as big or as little as you want it to be, and I
Yeah.
think that's just such the beauty of it, like, it gives such flexibility, and it's so fluid in that way, like, growing a garden can be anything from 2 pots on your urban balcony
Yeah.
at your apartment, or gardening can be acreage, and
Yeah.
everything and anything in between, and
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest compliments is when I get a comment like that where it's like, "Oh, you inspired me."
Yeah, I need to grow food. And also eating the food that you make. It's always so good. And you also make jams too,
Oh,
right?
I make everything. We grow a ton of stuff and we preserve a ton of stuff. And last year we finished it like right at the end of the year, so we
Mhm.
didn't really get it out there. But this year I'm excited because we built a little like rollaway farm stand that we're gonna roll to the end of my driveway just
Oh,
with any of like the
yeah.
extra stuff, just for like the people that walk in our neighborhood
I
or
wanna
like
do
our
that.
neighbors, they can just swing by and like if I'm like I have 47 zucchinis, what do I do?
Yeah.
Like, one of our neighbors can just come by and grab one, so
Yeah.
I'm super excited for that.
I wanna do that too because I think that's a piece of community that, at least in my life, very much opportunity to share
Mm.
in the way of, like, food or
Mm.
resources, the way I feel like that it should community should be.
Yeah, 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 that's another one of those things that I just feel is, like, deeply human and, like,
Yeah.
deeply ingrained in our humanness, like, sharing a meal together and, like, sharing food resources is, again, just such a deeply human thing, and
Yeah.
in our hyper individualized Western world
Mhm.
paradigm, we're so far removed for that, which is strange because, like, that happened objectively, like, in not a long amount of time.
Yeah.
Like, my grandparents, like, my grandfather was, like, a really big gardener and grew a lot of their food growing up. My parents have no idea how to grow anything. So, like,
Yeah.
for some of us within 2 generations, that severance happened. So objectively, again, not a long amount of time, but that would have been something that would have been incredibly normalized and
Yeah.
isn't
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. It's bizarre. I just bought a vehicle off Marketplace because I'm like, I wanna get back into having a good tool set, having garden things to
Mhm.
do, even though my yard is very small, just looking at, like, getting some raised beds
Mhm.
and just getting back into learning to crochet, learning to knit,
Mhm.
learning all of these things that generations before us already knew how to
Mhm.
do, and some people still did, and that's
Mhm.
great, but, I think I learned to crochet for, like, 5 minutes with my great-grandma, and then I thought I forgot it, but then when I picked it up again, it was interesting
Isn't that
that
amazing?
motion, and I was
Mm.
really young.
Mhm. I think that's such a great point to highlight, and I wanna chew on that for a second because I think that's true for so many things, and, like, I know it in my own body, I observe it in other people's when I do the work that I do, and, like, I
Mhm.
see it broad spectrum, like, in humanity too, like, these things exist in us, from my lens as an herbalist, this looks like inherent connection with land or with nature, and, like, all of us have that. That's a
Mhm.
birthright that we all have, and it quite literally lives in our DNA. I think we even, like, texted about this a little
Yeah.
bit, um, and even if we've kind of forgotten because we've forgotten or because larger systems want us to forget,
Yeah.
it's so easy to remember, and
Yeah.
all you have to do is just, like, go outside,
Mhm.
and it's like how you remembered that you can crochet once you just, like, picked up
Mhm.
are they needles? Crochet needles, is that correct? Those,
I
like,
think
the
so. Yeah,
sticks?
yeah, yeah, the sticks.
Sorry. You're like, "Oh my god, I kinda remember how to do this. Oh, this
Yeah,
feels familiar," and, like,
it did. It
same
felt
thing.
really very familiar, and it was really kinda surreal, actually,
Yes,
because 'cause I'm like,
yeah.
"I can do this really fast." So you give me 2 knitting needles, and I'm like, "I don't know. That's too much." It's exciting and super necessary because
Yeah,
everything's so digital.
yeah.
Everything that we buy is wrapped in plastic anyway. Might as well just grow it in the PFAS soil.
I know,
Yeah,
and, like
but
yeah, that's, like, a discussion that I have a lot of the times too, not only, like, with myself, but, like, if I have any clinical clients, it's like, "Okay, what is worth worrying about? At what
yeah,
point does the stress of worrying about all of the things override the the net positive of just, like, trying to do stuff, you
yeah,
know? Um, and for me, it's always just more of an importance of just, like, the revival or just the maintaining of the lives of these sort of ancestral crafts, like growing our food or crocheting or sewing or knitting or, whatever. Um Again, just kind of, like, for the sake of humanity. I
yeah,
think, we're in a place where we can't escape a lot of our modern technology in a way,
yeah.
and we probably won't be able to. And if there is some sort of catastrophic event that allows that, I might not be here to witness or experience it, but, um, it's just yeah, it's important to still hold on to these things, or if there's a way to integrate so that these things can, like, live together so that we don't we have technology for what it's beautiful for,
Mhm.
and we don't completely lose sight of, again, what it means to, like, be a human
Yeah,
in the
the
process.
good parts.
Yeah.
I was watching a show the other day, as I do on the couch, and honestly, I was playing a video game, my husband was watching the show, but I noticed in that moment because it was set in, like, the late '80s, early '90s,
Mm,
or somewhere in the '90s, I don't know, dot-com era just before the dot-com
mm,
era, and this particular character was saying goodbye to her mentor because she had bought an Airstream and she was going to go live in the woods.
mm,
And I just remember goodbyes don't mean anything anymore, you
mm,
know? Like, everybody's so
mm,
accessible, so,
mm.
like, when you say goodbye or give somebody a hug, it doesn't carry that same emotional weight,
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah,
it
you're so
should,
right.
and it should, because I don't like, we shouldn't be able to see each other every second of every day, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it's bizarre, and I was like, "Oh, man, remember when you said goodbye to your, like, friend from camp like or they were
Yeah.
moving from school and you
Yeah.
moving to a different state, and they're like, 'Oh, we'll call,' but, the call never came."
Or maybe it did for a while
Yeah.
and then, like, eventually time goes
Life.
by
The
and
yeah.
yeah, you're so right, that's a really great point. I feel like that's a piece that I haven't thought about, but it totally ties in. And I think
Yeah.
the accessibility piece is big. I mean, this shows up a lot in like corporate America or like, the capitalist productivity world where it's
Yeah.
like, okay, we're expected to be reachable at all hours of the day. And it's like, that has
Yeah.
never been a thing.
No, it's not.
That was never a thing.
Yeah.
And
I want a landline
that'd
so
be
bad, but I
great.
want to turn off the ringer. You know?
Just want to ring during certain set hours. Again,
Nope.
boundaries.
Just gonna leave the ringer off,
No.
and I'm gonna be like, "Okay, who called me today?"
Have you seen that meme where it's like, if you want to reach me, you can send a pigeon into the woods?
Yeah,
A carrier
exactly.
pigeon.
Exactly.
It's-
Ugh. But yeah, you give people the opportunity to get together in an environment that they've always wanted to get into, or maybe they have had or just want to try, and I think that's great. And especially because third spaces have been priced out for people.
Mm.
Like everybody used to have like I don't know, this really didn't happen where I'm from because I lived in the sticks, but people had like, I don't know, bowling leagues or something after
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know what else? Because I've been recording so much, I can't tell if I've had this conversation before.
Don't you hate that?
Or
It's
even
so
if
annoying.
I had the conversation, or if I was and this is the other problem. My God, I've got to get out of the internet. Sometimes I just don't know. Did I watch that? Or did I have that conversation? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's probably a me thing. I'm chronically online and it's me. I want to make sure I share all of the things, that everything's going on around
Yeah.
here, but I can't. Anyway, back to, so you have several pillars that are part of Gate and Garden. We touched on the third space portion and the parties that you have.
Yeah.
Tell us about us. It's so creepy sounding.
Tell the class. No, I'm just kidding.
Me and
the 6 people that'll listen to this.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Literally. About the other parts of your, I don't want to say business because I feel like saying business cheapens everything that you do.
I appreciate that. Thank
Yeah.
you. I guess, yeah, and sometimes even I struggle to like define myself or what I offer, I guess, or like I often just refer to it as like my work, and maybe that
Yeah, I
does
like that.
too, because that has like a connotation of productivity where I mean it more as like devotion.
Yeah, your
Like my
mission.
work is my devotion.
Even mission is kind of weird too sometimes.
Yeah, so sometimes I struggle to like self-define. But yeah, there's quite a lot of things that I do under the umbrella that is Gate and Garden, which I've put all of my stuff under. But again, these are just things that I would do in my life anyways. So yeah, I have the Earthwoven gatherings. I have clinical practice where I work as a clinical herbalist, one-on-one with clients with a variety of health concerns. That's not like the biggest part of what I do, but it's definitely something that I can and sometimes do. I make products, which range from holistic health remedies to sort of more witchy-leaning ritual items. And this year, for the first year ever, I am doing a really big Learn Herbalism program and mentorship, which I think is really cool because it's a big sort of choose your own adventure program where if you want to learn herbalism, I have an online virtual program that you can do. So anybody anywhere in the world can do it. Or I'm also offering 2 full weekend in-person intensives. So you can like come to my house where, again, I have my full apothecary, my full production space, my full shop, and all of the gardens from which I make all of those products. And we will work together in a really small group and container, like hands in the dirt, quite literally. So you can learn how to make your own herbal medicines. You can learn about the plants. You can connect with them in a way that's more than just, a use, because I think herbal medicine is more than just that. So I'm really excited about that. We're starting that. The online program begins in May, and then the first weekend intensive is in June.
Nice.
Very excited.
Congratulations.
Thank
I know that took a
you.
lot of hard work.
Yes.
Especially a choose your own adventure, because that takes a lot of pre-planning and thought to make sure that it's cohesive for the user experience.
Yeah, it is. But it was important to me to make something that was accessible for different types of learners, because that's a big, consideration, I think. And obviously I can't offer everything to everyone in the, their most perfect way possible. But, if you're somebody that learns better through hands-on work, which again, I think I would argue is the best way to learn herbalism. You can only get so far by looking at a slideshow or reading about it in a book, but to know the plants truly and to make good medicines and to have a good connection, again, is to sit with them like in real life.
Yeah.
But I wanted the program to be accessible because I also know that people have limitations.
Yeah.
Life exists. So like people can't always come out to my little homestead in New England for a weekend or two to do stuff. So hopefully this is a way where it bridged some gaps, and if people were looking to learn from me, with me, alongside me, together with other folks, there'd be a number of opportunities to do that.
Yeah. You've touched on some words that might give people the ick if they don't know you, which is homestead.
Sure. Yeah.
Herbalism.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And I know that when we talked before, we talked a lot about how you source all of your plants locally, how you don't get into sacred practices of other what's the word?
Cultures,
I guess. Gosh, my brain. You guys. Where's the podcast? She passed away. No. She passed away.
My funny bone.
She's passed on. I just put water all over my mic.
This is my podcast now. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's yours now.
I'm just kidding.
I need to put a will in. The podcast goes to Gate Garden. Good luck. Best wishes.
Unfortunately, you would none of you would ever hear another episode. I don't know how any of this works.
Literally same. But yeah, no. I'll cut back Molly later. Cut back to
yeah. We said some words that
the trigger words. In regards to how Maha, Make America Healthy Again, can turn away people from learning good plant medicine, and also the whole appropriation of different cultures through that, and also just bad information that's out there that's become the zeitgeist for that. Every subculture or anything.
Yeah, this is a perpetual thorn in my side. Yeah, so again, I think it's unfortunate that these things have been co-opted, not only because obviously, again, this is a field that I am heavily devoted to and I love and I believe in, but also because, well, it just sucks.
Yeah.
all around, every way about it just sucks.
Yeah.
So I think the division for me comes down to reciprocity and respect and the removal of exploitation, which I think is maybe sort of like for some a bit of a philosophical division in the way that they think about these things. But I think if you're coming at herbal medicine as I'm entitled to use this plant, and I read that turmeric is good for inflammation, and so I'm going to do that. Or I see that this is a field that is growing in popularity, and I think there's a market here for a quick, easy dollar because I'm an influencer and I can hawk a $70 shitty supplement. Can I swear on this podcast?
Of course.
Okay.
You can perform rituals on this podcast.
I asked after I said it. So if you're coming at it from that lens, I think that's...
And also, like,
that's a problem, right? Like, that's an ethical problem.
Yeah, and then also the essential oil MLM community where you know, I've bought from, what's I don't even remember the name.
There's Young Living,
Not
there's
that one.
doTERRA.
That one.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them.
And I didn't know.
Well, right, because they have these incredible, like, marketing campaigns that are like,
Yeah. What do you mean it's $40 for this little tiny thing?
You don't even know.
Must be good, you know?
There's a lot of layers there. And again, I think that comes down to exploitation, right?
Yeah.
Like exploitation on, like, preying on people's misery and their pain points and trying to make a quick buck by selling them something that they think is going to fix them. It's exploitation of the plants because things like that are procured through monocropping that just destroys ecosystems.
What is monocropping?
It's basically when, like, large swaths of land are planted with a singular crop.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
oftentimes just replanted and replanted.
So the way we do agriculture in America.
Yeah. Yes. How we got the Dust Bowl,
Yeah.
essentially. Like, you've stripped the land of any nutrients.
Yeah.
There's no reciprocity in the land. There's no diversity. You've upset every single ecological check and balance that exists.
Yeah.
So.
And also, I mean, and I say this because I am including myself. We come from a culture of, like, we're all kind of a little bit of a sucker in the end, because
Sure.
we grew up on the infomercial era.
Sure.
And, it must be great because it was made in America, like, I don't know at what point that was, like, that seed was planted. Like, I just remember that was... It's not like someone said, oh, everything's better because it's made in America. But, like, that
Right.
seed was planted at some point. Made in America. Like, I don't know.
Probably before
In the
we were
womb.
even born.
Yeah, I'm sure.
American propaganda has existed forever.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So
I just wish we weren't part of the consumption era,
yeah,
Jeez.
there's obviously been changes throughout
Anyway.
time, but I think, like, the tenet is the same, right? Like, that
Yeah.
American propaganda,
And then
the tenets of it are the same.
Just, like, automatically believe, oh, it must be fine.
And you want to believe it,
Yeah.
right? Like, you want to. I think as humans, we're like, we really want to give the benefit of the doubt and, like, believe the best in people and in institutions. And it's really earth-shattering when you find out that you can't do that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. It is what it is.
so yeah, so there's a lot of
Especially now if you don't know an MLM is bad, I don't know what to tell you now. Like,
There's-
all these available resources and internet and scandals and
yeah, there's, like, whole, like,
documentaries.
Netflix documentaries. Yeah. Wasn't there one on oh my god, what was that, like, legging company? LuLaRoe? Was there, like,
Yeah.
a big Netflix doc about that?
Yeah, Prime, I think.
Oh,
I think they
yeah.
still exist, which is even more diabolical.
I'm sure they
But
do.
it's
Well,
like they've
Young Living
changed-
still exists.
They've
so.
changed their model somehow. I don't know.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
So there's definitely that sect of herbalism, which is unfortunate. Again, that is, to be very clear, if you haven't gathered by now, not
Not your vibe.
where I come from
Yeah.
in my herbalism practice. My herbalism practice is very much rooted in animism and the belief, again, that sort of, all things on this planet are sacred and that all of them are worthy of respect and reciprocity simply because they exist. That's true for plants, animals, creatures, humans, what have you. And things should be treated as such. And when you have the land as your compass like that, it makes it a lot more challenging to do the shitty things like exploitation because you're seeing this as, the mugwort is my sister, the elder tree is my mom. I wouldn't do that to things that I love.
Yeah.
So, and that's another reason why I think and why I'm so adamant about reconnecting people to land, because I think that's one of the first things that empire stole from all of us, right? Like, it stripped our connection to land and it othered that and it positioned us as outsiders and separate from the land. And obviously there's, like, a lot in there too that I'm not getting into with, like,
Culture,
indigenous culture. And so that's a piece I'm not purposefully not naming that. That's just, I could be here for 9 hours.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing that sort of these oppressive systems stripped and stole from us. And I think that's such a foundational thing to reconnect so that we can make progress with the more higher tier things. It's like
Yeah.
it's harder to act or behave certain ways towards people if we're not even like looking at ourselves or the land as like an autonomous sovereign being worthy of respect. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think it's so important to do the work of reconnecting yourself with the land, which again, quite literally is just as simple as like going outside and like learning the names of some plants that grow near you, or
Yeah.
just looking at the trees for 2 minutes at the start and just wondering about them with curiosity.
So basically, you're like someone who gathers people together, and you also, you're kind of doing organic chemistry.
Yeah, I'm like the closest thing to an alchemist that exists in real life, I think, which is pretty cool.
I love that word.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is awesome.
All I've ever aspired to be was like that weird, when you read a fairy tale and you have the princess and you have the prince and you have the king in the castle, and then you have like that weird crooked old lady at the forest with the house made of bones and weird stuff. That's who I've always aspired to be. Like I didn't care about being the princess, whatever.
Yeah.
I wanted to be her. And I think I'm real close. And that's cool for me.
I think you can just go ahead and say you are, because
it's real cool.
You're like living it every day. And that's exciting because you're pretty young, I'd say.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Well, to have achieved something that you've always wanted to do or be.
It's funny to hear it put that way, actually, because I don't know if I've ever... People ask that sometimes, like, oh, is this what you... Actually, at the last Earthwoven for spring, one of the attendants was like, oh, is this what you've always wanted to do? And I like had to think about it for a second, and I was like, well, in a way, no, but also in a way, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me such a weird, windy way to get here.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that this is what I wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's changing all the time, right?
Yeah.
But this feels like what I meant to be.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, without getting too like,
no,
about it.
No, I love it. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to look back or see someone else's point of view too. Because you see so many people that have a business and they have a brand, quote unquote, which feels very much separate. But at least for everybody that I've talked to, they've very much been the personification that the person has come before the brand. And the brand is like a just another living part of them in words and shapes and colors and ethos. And I love that. That's what's been really exciting about all of this. And also seeing you in your element when we were doing like the meditation. I think the rose was the plant that you were teaching us about. And I've always wanted to know or be one of those people that could point out plants. Like I know a couple, but that's about it. Like if I had to forage, I'm dead. I'm dead. That's not my apocalypse skill. I'm still trying to figure out what my apocalypse skill is.
Not everyone can have every apocalypse skill.
No, but I need something. I don't have one. There's not going to be a radio. Maybe I need to figure out how to make a ham radio. I don't know. Would that even exist? I don't know. I gotta find
you're so good at so many things. I feel like there's so much opportunity there. It's
just give me a hammer.
What you want?
Maybe MacGyver. I could be that.
Hey,
it's probably.
You know what?
But I can't. I'll kill everybody if we have to eat off the food I find.
That's okay. I will volunteer as your apocalypse forager.
Nice.
During COVID, it was like I say it was like a joke because like kind of it was, but kind of it wasn't. Like my parents were like, "Oh my God, if everything really explodes, you're such an asset. We're so lucky."
Literally. Like
I was like, guys, I can tell you what plants you can use for toilet paper if there's none left.
Drop it now.
It's mullein. You can use mullein leaves. They're so soft.
Can't you smoke those?
You can.
For your lungs?
You can. But it's big, broad, fuzzy leaves. One of its like colloquial terms is cowboy toilet paper.
Really?
Because if you're in a bind, my friends, if you're in a bind.
What's some other like fun facts? I know you got a bunch.
Oh my God. That's so hard because I feel like there's probably so many. Well, like what?
So we got the apocalypse toilet paper.
Yeah.
Mullen.
Yep.
What about a little snack?
A little snack. This isn't like true across the board. Like there's obviously deviations from this, but like as a super general rule of thumb, if you're like looking around for berries, like in like forested regions or areas, like single berries are usually a no-no.
Yeah. I learned that when I was little.
Groups of berries are usually safer. So like if you look at like the structure of like a blackberry, looks really different than like the structure of like a belladonna berry, right?
Are those the ones that you squish and it's like purple stains your hands?
Those are pokeberries.
Okay, so
which also is a no-no.
Yeah. It's
to a degree.
I didn't eat it.
To a degree.
But my mom thought I did because I smeared it all over my face.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It was a mess.
The most fantastic lipstick and blush nature has to offer.
Literally. It's deep stain. She was like freaking out, as one probably would.
Right.
And, you know, I just was always outside and I missed that. I was like, literally my playtime was I would go outside. I lived in the middle of nowhere in the woods. Thinking back, this gives me the ick because I could never do this now. But the grass was really high because, you know, you'd bale it for hay.
Oh, yeah.
And so what do? What's fun for me? I'm going to crawl through the grass on my hands and knees.
Of course. Ticks be damned.
Ticks, chiggers, the worst. Huge king snakes, and this is in Louisiana. There's too many.
Okay, that's
there's
even
too
worse.
many no-nos. And I'm like crawling through, making a maze out of this grass.
Peak childhood.
Freak.
Peak childhood.
Couldn't do that now.
Because you didn't know, you know, like
had no fears.
No, the ignorance of childhood.
I didn't know there was like a
so blissful
10-foot king snake right around the thing, which honestly, also is not poisonous.
But even if you knew, you'd probably be like, "That's cool. That's a snake. Whatever." Like kids just don't care.
Until I got chased by this one snake. I don't know what they're called, but they like stand up like a cobra and chase you. I think they're called like blue racers or something.
Where? In Louisiana? Oh.
Terrifying. Because it reminded me of the snake from Robin Hood, the cartoon.
Yeah.
It was like him.
Oh my gosh.
But scary as hell.
That is terrifying. That is terrifying.
And then I got my ass kicked by a chicken. A rooster, actually.
That makes sense, though.
I got to do fun stuff, like hide in the woods. And, you know, I just missed that.
I know. And I again, even if there's like those things where it's like, oh, you know, it probably shouldn't have been like rolling around in a sea of ticks.
Yeah.
I think there's something so wondrous about being, again, just like an ignorantly blissful child.
Yeah.
Like with the you know, the bodily freedom and like the mind freedom of being able to just roll around in the grass and being like, this is so great.
Or even like that movie Stand By Me is so nostalgic in the way of like just disappearing. Getting into stuff.
Just disappearing for a while.
On foot, you know? You have no plans. You don't know where you're going. You might have a loose plan, but like it's not going to go that way.
Right.
And it's going to be epic and memorable, and the summer sun's going to be so amazing.
I can like see it,
you know,
in my head.
And then the cicadas are loud and oh my God, I can't wait for summer. Sorry.
It'll be nice. It's funny. I was just talking to a friend about this too.
All
like
20 days.
I know. Don't stop. It's so mean. Why do we live here? I love it. I was just talking to a friend about like before All Trails came out, which is like
the app.
The app, yeah. That you can use without service. I would just like go for a walk, like in like a forest or like a park or whatever, like the big ones. And because I'm me, I would never stay on the trail. I would like see a plant or I'd see like a bird and I'd be like, oh my God, that's a type of wren I've never seen before. I have to go look at it. And suddenly now I'm 5 miles off trail. I have quite literally no idea where I am. And much to my parents' chagrin. My mom's like, I have to get you like an air tag. So
Yeah.
because you get lost. I have no sense of direction too, by the way, which is hilarious. And I'd be gone for like 6 hours, just like
Wandering around.
So I feel like you can microdose that experience in like safer ways now.
Yeah.
So maybe we do that, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I think this is
I'm just gonna go
using
get
technology
lost.
for good.
I'm gonna go get lost with Stephanie. See
Yeah.
ya. Bye.
And then if we have to, we can pull up the all trails and find our way back.
I know directions.
So good, because I don't.
At least, I don't know, it's a vibe. I'm like, okay, I feel like this is the way. It's usually right. I don't know.
A woman's intuition.
Yeah. It's like, I do have photographic memory when it comes to directions.
Oh, see, that's great. I don't have that. I just go.
I think it's trauma.
And then I say, oops, now where am I?
Let's go back to how this all started.
Yeah.
I think the last time we talked, you had kind of discovered herbalism through autoimmune.
Yeah, in part. I came to my herbalism path through a very sort of like forked initiation. That was part of it. So I have a couple of like autoimmune conditions that weren't, surprise, being served very well by conventional Western medicine. Not a full dig on it. Like, we need that stuff, obviously. I'm not like one of those people that are like, don't go to the doctor.
Which is also a stigma in that.
Right. I'm not going to tell you
group.
that, but exactly. I just didn't feel like I was receiving any meaningful support. So I was just kind of looking for what other types of support might exist out there. This also sort of happened simultaneously as when I kind of started like dabbling with gardening a bit more and growing some stuff. And I had an abundance of like some kitchen herbs that like I quite frankly didn't know what to do with because I just had so much. And I was like, there's only so many mojitos you can make with spearmint. What else can I do? And also in a time in my life where like so many things were going wrong and like burning down and just dying. And to be incredibly transparent, I was so miserable. And I like I was like working this shitty job. I hated my life. Like everything was going wrong. I didn't feel good in any way that word meant. And so all these things kind of converged together. And I think like, because I had a lot of like lavender and a lot of mint from the garden, I was like, what do I do with this stuff? And on a whim, probably on some like horribly mediocre Pinterest blog, I saw the word tincture for the first time. And I was like, well, that's kind of fascinating. What's that all about? So I sort of read a bit more about it. Because again, I didn't grow up with this type of knowledge in like a lineage or being passed down like some other folks may have. This was very foreign to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought it was fascinating. And I could not stop reading and learning and figuring it out and being just entranced by the wonderment and curiosity of it all. And so I just kind of followed that in a very grassroots, earnest way with no agenda of even getting anything out of it, really. But just like where does this go? This is fun.
Yeah, and I feel like when that does happen, when this burning curiosity happens, you have to follow it.
I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do.
Yeah.
And so I did, and it led me to just some stupendous places.
Mm-hmm.
And I look back, at the last like decade of my life, give or take, where all this is kind of materialized. And every day I'm just like in awe. Like I'm just like, damn, this is my life. And that's crazy. All because I was like, that's cool. Where does that go? That's cool. Where does that go? That's cool. What happens if I do that thing? And just
it's one of those things where like if you because you also have been a mental health counselor.
Yeah, my base education is in mental health counseling. So I have that background, which really serves me well in what I do.
For sure. But whenever you don't start out, I mean, I guess the better question is, when you started out doing that, did you have the same curiosity, or what? Did you have any kind of, can you tell the difference, I guess, when you chose to do that versus this curiosity that you couldn't quiet?
Oh, that's a great question. I feel like it's the same kind of answer where I'm like, yes and also no. When I was doing all of sort of like my base education and mental health counseling, the school that I went to, I chose specifically because it had the option of an art therapy major, which I didn't actually end up pursuing as a major, but um, I always resonated with the idea of a more integrative kind of mental health practice that
Mhm.
wasn't as rigid as just like a standard psychotherapy where you sit in this sterile office and you talk at somebody.
Yeah.
So I think I've always kind of had that inclination, but the way that I looked at life, probably again, like a lot of other millennials who were like given the same blueprint of you get good grades, you go to college, you get a good job, and great, you're set for life.
Mhm.
Um, I was like, this is a dependable field
Yeah.
where I feel like I can make a difference and I enjoy it and I can get a job and
Mhm.
I'm gonna be good for life, you know? So I think I had those inclinations, but I wasn't
It wasn't
looking at
a
them in a
yeah.
broader spectrum way of like for my own life, I
Yeah.
guess, you
Yeah.
know? So it's interesting to look back and to see how all of the little micro choices I made along the way led me kind of perfectly to here, even though I didn't mean to. But
Yeah.
also, yeah, those were kind of always inside me because I made those weird little micro choices,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see how things play out, especially when you follow that burning curiosity,
Yeah,
like, if anybody is listening and you have that, chase it.
I second that.
Yeah.
I second that in any way that you can. Like, it doesn't
Mhm.
have to be like this full-fledged moment of like your whole life burning down and you like
No.
abandon everything that
No.
you know. I'm not purporting that,
You can go
but
to the library, you can Google, whatever.
just a little let your childlike wonder
Yeah.
exist in you and don't let go of
Yeah.
it in any way that you can, you know?
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
important.
It's interesting to, read nonfiction when you aren't being told you have to read it. And
Yes.
being extremely interested in it and inspired by it because
Yes.
that's not ever anything that I had ever experienced. I was always like, "You gotta do this," and it's like, "Okay," and I'll just, like, skim it
What I
as the
want to.
ADHD person does, shit out a
Mm.
paper and
Yeah.
get an A somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because 'cause you're smart.
I don't know.
No, I really see you in that. I really see you in that because there was a lot of, there was a lot of stuff that I struggled with, like, in academia and I was like, "Oh, I'm just, like, not good at this."
Yeah.
And then I went back to get my master's degree, and I was like, "Wait a minute," like, looking at this slightly differently from the lens of now that, like, I chose to, like, I get to look at this in
Yeah.
a way that's more interesting or applicable to me, it was so simple. Like, I was like, "Wow,
Yeah.
I can read 200 pages of pathophysiology textbook density," and I was like, "Cool, that's fascinating."
Yeah.
But, like, in school or undergrad, I was like, "I'm gonna get a D in this class, or I'm gonna
Yeah.
get pity passed."
Yeah. I got pity passed in
You know?
statistics
Me
because I
too.
failed it once and I
Me
was
too.
about to fail it again, and somehow, miraculously, in my grad program, I got an A, and I'm like,
Wait a
"There's
minute.
no way I got an A in research
Yeah.
stats."
But same, I had the same experience, but I think because your lens gets to shift a little bit, where you have some more,
Yeah.
um I don't know, I guess, like, autonomy and the choice of why you're applying these
Mhm.
things, you know? Like, I
Yeah.
didn't care about statistics when I was looking at it from something that, like,
I just still don't care about
didn't
it.
matter. I mean, it's not my favorite.
I
I'm
mean,
not
I don't like to do statistical problems, but I like
I
to
respect the
read.
field.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real.
I don't
Somebody's
wanna
gotta do
do
it.
it.
I don't wanna do
I
it.
don't wanna do
Hell
it.
no.
Heavily respect the field. Yes, of course. I'm with you on that.
It doesn't make sense to me
Yeah.
still, and I have a master's degree.
Yeah.
Nope, don't get it.
Math is hard.
Yeah.
But I can sit and do complex chemistry for my, like, herbal formulations, no questions asked. But
Yeah.
if you ask me to do basic mathematical skills, I'm like, "What is that?"
Yeah. What do you mean a tip? How do I do
Hello?
I gotta pull my calculator out.
What's 15 minus 8?
Yeah.
But I have, like, these long chemistry equations. It's fine.
Which also is pretty artistic looking. I like those.
They are cool.
Yeah.
They are cool.
You should maybe frame one.
I
That'd be
have
pretty Oh,
a tattoo.
there you go.
I have this is the chemical formula for atropine on my hand.
What is that? Atropine.
Atropine is the alkaloid that's prominent in the belladonna plant. It's a tropane alkaloid. It's
Poison.
poisonous.
Yeah. So we talked about when you started taking herbalism, well, at least the catalyst, how you got to starting to take herbalism seriously. When did you start Gate and Garden?
Mm.
And what was your first product?
This is a good question too. Well, I started everything very, very grassroots. So I didn't start Gate and Garden with the intention of being a business owner or having a business. So I started very much as just a community herbalist. So making remedies for family
Friends.
members, friends. Those people told more people told more people. And suddenly I was making a lot of things for a lot of people. And was encouraged to broaden my scope because of that. And there's, obviously some right or I guess better or more ethical ways of producing herbal medicines than just doing them in your kitchen for your mom when your dog's walking across the floor, as opposed to making something for like general retail.
Yeah.
So to be a business and to sell products in that way, like I had to change some things and I had to learn some more stuff and I had to kind of shift. And so a business was kind of a necessity because of that.
Yeah.
So as a business in earnest, I started in December of 2020. And it was after, I wasn't working during lockdowns. I had a lot of free time like many other people. And so I had extensive time to heavily dedicate to my craft, which I did after having kind of been in it and had my hands in it for quite a while. But really was able to navigate more of like the business aspects of it where I felt confident to broaden my scope. The first product that I offered was a body butter, which I actually still offer today. Soon after that, I offered a cut and scrape salve, sort of like an all-purpose cut and scrape salve, and a topical like pain oil. And so those were the three products that I sold for quite a while. I think it was maybe like 6 months or so of that, and feeling really confident in those, and those getting really good feedback, all the while doing some testing for other products, because I like to test them before I just like let them loose into the market and be like, here you go, before I know this is going to matter or help anybody or do anything.
I feel like that would be a lot of pressure.
It can be.
I think it for me, because I don't know shit about fuck, it would be a lot of pressure. But for someone who has spent and dedicated a lot of their life to it, it's not. But
well, I have a frame of reference that you don't have. Like, it's not like I'm just like formulating in the dark, right?
Yeah.
Like, I have like a lot of frame of reference where it's like I start pretty narrowly and I can do small tweaks if I have to. Where it's like if you don't know, then you're like, oh, I'm starting with this and I have no idea how to get to here. So it can be complicated, but often less so because of my frame
experience.
of reference.
But for people like, that's why it's so important to find somebody who has that ethical approach of like, I want to try this on myself. I want to see if it works. I also want to take the time to learn.
I often just like refer to myself as an adept formulator. Like I'm just an adept formulator. Like I'm very good at this, and not to like toot my own horn, like, but knowing what I've seen on the market, I know that I'm farther along than some people in their formulation journey. But I don't think I can ever be a master of something that I could never possibly know everything about.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason why I like herbalism.
Yeah.
Because I'll be learning until the day I die.
Yeah, and that's important.
So how can I be a master of something that I will never know the end of?
Yeah. You were making those salves and things for people. What are some of the tinctures and stuff that you've got now that will be useful for people that need some medicinal help?
I offer a range of tinctures and elixirs that have sort of, they're skewed more, again, like holistic health, because I also have products that skew more like ritual magic.
Yeah.
So for the ones that kind of skew towards holistic health, yeah, I have some salves for various like skin complaints that can be supportive. I have as far as like the elixirs or ingestibles, I have some that are supportive for like digestion, stress, like general anxieties, things that just kind of like support and calm the nervous system. I have ones that are supportive for like brain health that have like a dual extract of mushrooms.
I need that.
Honestly,
This episode is brought to you by
Gate Garden's prophecy tincture. I'll just send you one.
Nice. No.
So I have a couple. I think right now there's like 7 to 9 elixirs that I offer in various blends.
And then you do tea, which also you did strawberry tea? What did you do? Strawberry tea?
I did, yeah. The summer tea had lemon balm and strawberry.
God, that was so good.
I stopped retailing the teas this year because I wanted to revamp and refresh the packaging, and I haven't found
what you want to do
what
yet.
I'm looking for yet.
Yeah.
And when I do, then I want to, because I also try really hard to not only make my products again, adeptly formulated, but also really beautiful. Like I spend a lot of time and a lot of dedication to making the aesthetics of them also reflect how much work goes into what's inside the bottle.
Yeah.
So I do
because you can reuse every single one of those oil or tincture bottles.
So everything, like labels are all compostable, the bottles are all glass. So I spend a lot of time trying to make them usable, but again, also beautiful. So I spend like a lot of time on like packaging research and like label design and all of that stuff. So I haven't quite found the right packaging that I want to redo the teas in, but once I do that, hopefully I'll have
that
those
tea
again.
Was the bomb.
That's a lot of people's favorites. I'm glad you like it.
I also like the Star Water.
Oh yeah, the collab with Nocturne.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
Even though, because my anxiety's weird, I'm like, this is blue. What's gonna happen?
It's blueberry.
I know, but I'm crazy.
Bestie, it's blueberry. That's okay. It's you're allowed to have.
Still good.
I'm glad that you like it.
I got past it.
Perfect.
I love a color drink. Don't get me wrong.
It is fun.
But also, I remember when I bought it, I was unwell.
What is that?
Which I go through phases of.
Suspicious.
Which, if you don't go through phases of being unwell, I applaud you, and I hope that continues in your life. It's not happening for me. I just have to accept it. I'm a seasonal.
We're just riding the wave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Riding the wave.
All right, your witchy stuff, your witchy side.
Yeah.
When did you get in touch with that?
That has also been one of those things that, like, which again, because I don't think about them in terms of separate, like these are not dichotomous thoughts to me. To me, they exist simultaneously. The medicinal and the magical are two sides of the same coin. So like my desire to explore nature connection and the medicinal side of plants, the intrigue has always existed in me in regards to their like sort of more magical, or again, for lack of a better word, like metaphysical or witchy connections as well. Like I wore like a pentagram necklace in middle school. And Mom was like, "You're a witch," and I was like, "Bestie, you named me after Stevie Nicks. I don't know what you were thinking. What we were expecting." So I've always kind of had an interest. I have never really done any robust, like, I guess for lack of a better word, training or like education in that realm. Like some people will take like they'll learn from like specific witchcraft practitioners or whatever. I didn't do any like robust learning in that way. Like it's been more of like self-study, but also the lens from which I operate my life and how connected I am to land has given me a lot of the same wisdoms, and this is not to say that like people shouldn't pursue that type of like formal education. That's not what I'm saying. Like if that works for you, absolutely go ahead. And maybe there's a point in my life where I will do that. But a lot of sort of the tenets of, and this is hard to like self-define too, because like the witchcraft community.
Oh, I know. There's
TM has gone really strange also. So I guess like for lack of a better descriptor, I operate from kind of like a like a pagan sort of belief, like not like a Wicca or not like a labels are weird.
Yeah,
I don't
labels are
like
weird.
them. I just think there's like
Practice.
more out there.
Yeah.
Like there's like a numinous quality to the world and things that I cannot explain simply by looking at them with my real human eyeballs, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I've always kind of have that interest, and these qualities in plants and herbs to me are completely reflected in their medicinal values, which is why I don't or feel like I can't or have no desire to separate them. Not every herbalist works that way. So like not every herbalist does witchy stuff, not every witchy person does herbalism stuff. So
Yeah.
there's a huge gradient there. I happen to be someone who sits in the middle of that.
Yeah. But it works. It fits. It's evident in how you plan things and how you release new like items, whether it's like a candle or it's always through both lenses.
Yeah.
And it's really neat to see that thought process. Like you can see like how much effort goes into it, but also everything has a story. Yeah, no, it's great. I love it. And I'm still sad about I didn't get that. Was it the chicken? Wait, the frog candle or the chicken
I had
legs?
both for the Salem Night Fair. I did like a special collection of candles and inspired by like folklore, and one
Baba
was
Yaga.
the Baba Yaga candle. I'm working on same thing. Like I'm working on trying to refine how I produce the packaging of that because it was incredibly arduous. Which again, not like I'm somebody that is like, oh, I don't want to do this like hard work. It just like it took so long to make one single candle container that I was like, this is just not sustainable to like produce a lot of these. So I'm working on trying to refine that process. So if I can figure out a better way to do that, which I'm like kind of in the middle of currently, then I will have more of them. But I'm like, I can't make 200 of these things. They take forever. So I'm gonna make like 20.
Which is fair.
But
I think we've gotten to this point where we want to have everything at every moment, every single opportunity. And one of my other guests from last year, Olivia from Marshfield, whose brand is called Oh Please, she only does limited drops. They sell out very, very, very quick. And she may have like 10 pieces. But and then I went to her market in Marshfield, that Wicked Women's Market.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
Yeah. And her stuff sold out like in 10 minutes.
Or less.
Yeah. It was so cool to see that for someone in a small business.
Yes.
But also it was a good reminder of like, no, you'll get it when the time is right.
Yeah.
Just appreciate that it exists.
Yes.
You don't always have to get it.
Yes. I love that. And very much resonant in the way that I work and how I work. And again, as somebody who works with the rhythms of nature instead of trying to put myself on top of them, I have to work that way because plants are ephemeral.
It's a good teacher in slowing down.
100%. 100%. Like I do not always like rose petals aren't available 12 months out of the year. So I don't have the things that I make from them in the dead of winter. That's just how it works. And that's one of the reasons I'm so proud that I've been able to sort of have the audience that I have, because it means enough people understand that, or at least like are open to holding the capacity of that truth. Like, oh, I understand that you don't have these things all the time, and therefore I can't have these things all the time, because that's just not how the world works. So
or should work.
Right. So that's a big part of the way that I work, and I love that you bring that up.
And two, I want to point out, make sure everybody's really clear. You use everything from your garden or a local garden to make everything.
Pretty much. I would say like 96% of the botanicals I use, I either grow myself, ethically and locally wild forage, partner with other like local farms in Massachusetts for if it's something that I can't like cultivate enough of. There's like a few plants where I just like need a bit more, and so I'll work with other like larger scale farmers again because I have a third of an acre. So,
Yeah.
there's a couple herbs that I use that don't grow here, like cinnamon bark doesn't grow here. It's a tropical plant.
It is?
Yeah.
It's so funny because you think of cinnamon and you think that's definitely in the woods.
Well, because it's something that we have constant access to.
Yeah,
like that's a constant
exactly.
access kitchen spice.
Yeah.
You can go to your local Star Market or Shaw's and pick it up. But it doesn't grow here. It's not native to this region. It's not
Where does it grow?
something
You said tropical?
tropical regions, usually like South Pacific or
What?
yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, not here.
You know, that's why. I mean, I really
Just blew your
It's
brain
just-
apart, didn't I?
yes, because this is how disconnected we are
Right,
to the things in our kitchen, to the things in our closets, to literally everything.
Mhm.
I think with gardening yourself or even talking to someone like you, understand like I did not know.
And I say none of this with the intention or veil of like shaming, right?
Yeah.
Because like of course that's how we think because of our systems
Yeah.
that have us think
That
this
came
way.
before us.
It's a humbling. It's just like like curiosity is a big importance of
Yeah.
my work. Like, oh, just the curiosity of like, oh, that doesn't grow here. Where does that grow?
Yeah.
You know? And that's interesting. I learned something, and maybe now I approach this thing differently because I didn't know that. So like I
Yeah.
said, that's something that doesn't grow here that like I do work with, but for the most part, again, I would say like 95 to 96% of the stuff that I use is from a bioregional lens because that's important. And that's
Yeah.
also a big part of like my belief in herbalism. Like herbalism is a people's medicine, you know, and it always belonged to, and it still does, but like belongs to the people of the place, and that's inherently informed by what grows in the place.
Mhm.
So like we're not gonna practice the same. Like me, you know, an herbalist in the American Northeast doesn't have the same access to the same herbs as like somebody practicing in like India or South America or, you know, a different bioregion. And you don't have to outsource these herbs from somewhere else for your formulas because I can almost guarantee you there's an equal analog in your bioregion.
Mhm.
So it's just, again, learning like
It's super fascinating.
and
Like,
connecting to in place.
do you know other herbalists that do something similar in different regions, and do you try their stuff?
Absolutely.
yeah. I
That's
feel
like
like
one of my
that-
favorite
yeah.
things. I love finding other
Yeah.
like bioregional herbalists because I'm like, this is fascinating. I can learn so much.
And also just appreciate their craft as well,
Yeah,
and not
absolutely.
through the lens of like, I'm gonna steal this.
No,
you know?
oh
Like,
my
'cause you
God,
can't.
no. I love finding other people
Yeah.
that do this because I'm like, this is so cool. Tell me about your lived experience
Yeah.
with this thing.
Yeah,
Fascinating.
That's really cool. Gosh, yeah, I find what you do really fascinating and also admirable because you're doing it in such a thoughtful way.
Thank you.
But also, I appreciate that it's something that I could never do,
Sure.
and that, you know, like, I don't know how to explain it. But where am I trying to go with this? I think we don't do that enough as people saying, I think what you do is awesome. I respect your craft.
Mhm.
And also hold space for the fact that I can appreciate that without wanting to do what you're doing.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we all think we're like, oh, I can make that. I could do that. We're just, I don't know where the hell we got this from of like, let the people that are good and proficient at things be good at it. And also just, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
No, I totally see you. And I completely agree with you. And I feel the same way. I think it comes probably from, again, like that, our like hyper individualistic mindset and society and conditioning where we feel like we need to do everything ourselves. And so like, of course I can do that.
Mhm.
Where, you know, in a different structure of community, like you'd have people that have their individual brilliances
Mhm.
and that's what their brilliance is.
Yeah.
I certainly look at people that way. Like I see people that I work with in a lot of different domains and roles, and I'm like, oh my God, you are so brilliant in this.
Mhm.
I don't do that, and that's really cool that you do that, and I don't.
Yeah, yeah,
Because what a
exactly.
rich tapestry that makes life.
Yeah.
In this individualistic society, there's so much conditioning of like shame of having to like ask for help or being like,
Yes.
or admitting, hey, I don't know anything about this. Can you help me? Like,
Yeah.
there's so many weird layers. And again, it should be like reciprocal. And like, I love that there's, at least in this small little community, you,
Mhm.
me, my other little, like this little area, um, I can see those threads starting to reconnect. Like when I was like, oh, I want to learn how to sew. I don't know how to sew. You were like, girl, you can just take my extra sewing machine. Here, I'll teach you how to
Mhm.
use it. And I was like, this is incredible.
How'd that go, by the way?
It's great. I made like 4 quilts for Christmas as
Oh, wow.
gifts.
That's awesome.
I know. And when you're like, hey, like I want to start a garden, but I don't really know how to start. Like, what are your
Yes.
favorite spots? I'm like, I am happy to help
Yeah.
you. And there doesn't have to be any other kind of like feelings or
Mhm.
exchange rather than like a, hey, you want to do this thing? Cool. I know how. Let me help you. Oh,
Yeah.
I want to do this thing. You know how? Cool. Let me help you.
Yeah, that's really honestly the things like that interaction, as well as some other interactions that have come to fruition because of the podcast or who
Yeah.
have listened to the podcast, makes me remember why I'm doing this. But also, like, I just want that in my normal life too.
Yeah.
And this is really just like me forcing it on everyone else. Be my friend.
But I think it's so necessary. Like,
No,
it's
it
so
is.
necessary to like have those tendrils that keep reaching farther
Mhm.
and to be an example, because we don't have a lot of good examples.
Ooh, I don't know if I
of
want to be an
this.
example.
I see you, and I totally
I'm
understand.
extremely flawed human being, but
We all
I
are.
mean, well,
We all are. But it's like, but again, even just if it's a very simple baseline, like,
yeah.
oh, I see this girl like talking to different people about different stuff. Like, that's cool. Can I have some bravery to talk to different people about different stuff and like get out of my little bubble for like a hot second?
Mhm.
It's a pretty cool example to have.
Well, thank you.
You know?
I'll
It's
have when I
important.
play this back next time, I'll probably be like, "Oh, he's so
Just in your bed, like,
yeah. I just want people to remember we're all human and we all have something cool to offer. And sometimes that comes through to the things we offer to other people, but also maybe the journey on how we got there.
Absolutely.
And also the failures and successes on the way. Is there some part of your journey that you felt like was a failure that led to a good aha moment?
Oh, there's
A million.
a million of them, in
Same.
both small ways where maybe I'm trying a new formulation and it's a crazy flop and I'm just like, what did I do?
Yeah.
That's atrocious. Which leads me to eventually finding the right thing.
I just imagine you have like this crazy chemist set or like a cauldron. Do you have a cauldron? Tell me you have a cauldron.
I do have a cauldron. I do have some cool stuff. I think probably like the coolest piece of equipment I have that like when people see, they're like, tell me about that, is I have
Yeah.
a copper alembic, which is how you
Oh,
distill
yes.
botanicals for
But
like hydrosols.
But does it also look like one of those like moonshine things?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like a copper still. Mine
Yeah.
is small. Like I have like a 20-liter, so it's not
Yeah.
like those crazy like
Giant ones.
moonshiners. But it's very like
So Gate Garden's just your cover. You have a moonshine business.
mystique. My family for years have been like, so
When are you gonna do
can
it?
you do that? I'm like, there's a whole, again, talk about like
It's flammable, right?
not knowing how to, oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
But also like talk about not knowing how to do stuff. I'm like, there's a whole process to making moonshine. There's different like sub-alcohols that will distill out, and not all of them are consumable. And some are like wildly dangerous for consumption. And like moonshiners will just know the difference by like what it looks, smells, and like feels like. So there's this whole thing about it that I don't know. That's what I mean. I'm like, I'd be drinking the ethanol and I would die.
Let's have some closing questions here. If someone is curious but intimidated, where should listeners start with your work? Like a product, a practice, a program, or gathering?
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, there's so many access points for what I do, and I really think it's like what what sparks your fancy. Like if something sparks your fancy, it's something that you want to incorporate like into your daily life, then I think like a product is really cool. I offer a lot of diversity in the products.
And you have a lot of
make.
free like the newsletter. Definitely sign up
Oh
for that.
yeah.
You offer a lot of free things.
Oh, I do tons of free stuff. I'm working on like new freebies for the website too. You can find me on social media. I'm on there, a lot. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know. But I'm pretty active on my social media. I'm sure you'll put like all the links for everything in the show notes, so you can find that there. But I also think like if I were to suggest a starting point, like I really do think the gatherings are a great entry point because they're so rich and you get so much for them.
Yeah.
And some of them are totally free.
Yeah.
So there's really no barrier there, I feel. Again, like really.
And you can dress up and be whimsical.
Oh my God. And like a lot of people do.
Yeah.
All you have to do is just like navigate your way to my backyard and just get your body there. And I quite literally do the rest. And like the community does the rest. Like I make food, I feed you. You don't have to worry about it. I give you like a place to land. Everyone that has ever come ever is amazing.
Yeah.
I've had a couple people message me over the last like month or so that are like, hey, I want to go to this gathering, but like I'm going alone. Is that weird? I'm like, absolutely not. Tons of people come alone and they leave with friends.
Yeah.
It's just so nourishing in so many ways.
And you just started these gatherings last year?
Yeah, the garden party, I've done
not the
for
garden
quite a
party,
few years.
but
the like the season, they end up being like once a month. I like loosely align them with like the Sabbats, which ends up being like the equinoxes and the cross quarters. But I also think it's a really cool way to align because again, like you're syncing with the seasons, so you can see how the earth changes and moves in a really discernible way. So they end up being about once a month. The next one is Beltane. So for May 1st, we are making flower crowns.
Oh,
so you can come in the garden and weave flower crowns with us. There's always a different thing that we're doing for each one. So like I said, for May, we're weaving flower crowns. And then for the summer one, we're making summer sun catchers with like some folklore.
Oh, I need to go to
That's
that
a cool one. And then for August, Ivy from Blessed Bee is back to do like a seasonal song and sound bath.
Those are good too.
For fall,
I will say,
there's so many.
Your backyard when we were all laying there meditating was magical. The wind was a paid performer. It was all
the chicken
there.
like
they were meditating too.
Maybe they were, yeah. Maybe they were.
Because I didn't even hear them, to be honest.
It is. It's like a little portal.
It really is.
So that's a great place to start. The Earthwoven gatherings are a great place to start, and they're just super cool. They're again like they're so nourishing in quite literally every way. Like the food, the laughter, the friendship, the community. You get to meet other cool people.
That you're probably already following anyway.
Yeah, you get to experience like what it means to be an alive human in a world
in 3D.
Yeah, in a world that's like continuously filled with AI garbage. But highly recommend the Earthwoven gatherings. They're fantastic and they mean a lot to me. Like they really are such an expression of my devotion and the things that I care about and the things that matter. So,
well, I will say that every event was great. I was just blown away by like the attention to detail that you put into everything. The food is so good.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
But also you had people coming from Connecticut. Like there were some they're travelers.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. In both like the attendants and the facilitators. For Beltane, Kim is coming from Connecticut.
What are you excited to dive into next that you haven't done, if you can share?
I'm really just excited to like walk the path of teacher and herbal mentor this year. I'm really excited for the little container that I have with the folks that I'm grateful that have chosen me as a trusted teacher for this craft and for this path. So I'm very excited for that. I've never, I'll do like workshops or I offer a lot of like freebies in the newsletter, but I've never offered such a robust like herbalism program or mentorship before. So I'm very excited to walk this path and see how it goes. And it is my hope that it will be a recurring offering every year. So if you miss it this time, I'm closing applications for enrollment at the end of this month because we start in May. So depending on when this airs, I don't know if that'll be in time. But
2028.
Yeah, my hope is that this will be a recurring yearly mentorship opportunity.
Yeah.
So if you don't catch it this year and you want to learn and my style resonates with you, then hopefully there'll be more future opportunities for that.
I think there's no way that it can't be. You're just so deeply rooted in your universal purpose.
Thank you.
Universal meaning universe.
Yeah.
I just love seeing like people doing. This is what you're supposed to do. It's so obvious. Was there anything else that you wanted to talk about that you don't feel like we talked about?
I don't think so. I think we covered a lot of cool stuff.
I don't know what the time is, but if it's 1:00, that's crazy.
It's 1:17.
Is that real?
And I'm going to end up having to leave soon.
Did we drop into a portal?
We did. I do that.
Isn't it so
open them in places? And I'm sorry.
No, you are. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
And recording
so
for
grateful.
A second time because the first one was a disaster.
You know what? I had so much fun.
Good.
I low-key miss your dog.
I know.
Sitting on my lap.
Did I have both of them?
You did.
Yeah. And the cat.
You did. But I am incredibly grateful. Thank you so much for having me here and for sharing the things that I love with your audience. Because I appreciate it.
And I know they'll love you and everything that you have going on if they don't already know of you. Because how could you not? All right, let's wrap this shit up.
Let's wrap it up. Mic drop. Mic drop.
I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Check the show notes on where to find everything that Gate and Garden has to offer. And check the show notes, obviously, for the free event that is on Sunday, July 5th. It's the free summer garden party that Stephanie hosts at her home, which is literally the movie Practical Magic personified into this magical place where you can go and have food freshly made from her garden and meet new people, because that's what life is about, interacting in real life. I'll see you next time.